Hey everyone, I'm the nursery manager over here at Millstone Market and Nursery. Again, my name's Andrew Allen. In today's video, we're going to give you the proper techniques in laying sod, how to choose the correct sod, and give some insightful tips to make sure when you're laying your sod that it's going to be taken well care of and you'll have great success. So, first and foremost, on choosing the sod, you need to make sure you know your sunlight situation. Here in Memphis, Tennessee, there's prominently two types of sods that you're going to see throughout the entire Mid-South and Memphis, Tennessee being used. That is Bermuda and Zoysia. That being said, there's various forms of Bermuda and Zoysia. The most commonly used are probably Palisade Zoysia, Royal, Myers, and El Toro, just to name a few. Then secondly, if you get into Bermuda, that's probably going to be anywhere from your Tifway, Latitude, Celebration, again, just to name a few. So, when choosing the correct type of sod, you need to make sure you're getting the right amount of sunlight. You don't want to plant down Bermuda and lay it in a very low lit area that only gets maybe, say, 4 or less hours of sunlight. What's going to happen is that sod's going to thin away within about 2 to 3 years and you've wasted your money. Now, as far as Zoysia goes, there's various forms that are more sunlight loving, and then there's some that are also a lot more shade loving. Or shade tolerant. That being said, there is no true Zoysia that takes complete shade. If that's the case, you'll have to look into another option such as fescue, which you will have to sow every season. So, when laying your sod, the next big thing you need to make sure that is properly addressed is drainage. In this backyard, we couldn't just lay the sod on the ground. The reason why is improper drainage here. The backyard beforehand was completely hilly and valley-ish, so therefore it pooled in certain areas and collected water. A big problem with sod is if it stands in water, you're going to create issues such as fungal or root rot, and again, that's going to kill off your sod. We came in with about 2 to 3 yards of Pro Mix, made sure it was all leveled, that way the area is prepped. We did our research, talked to the homeowner. They get less than 4 hours of filtered sunlight. Most people would think, okay, Palisade Zoysia. They've laid it before and practiced with it, it thinned out. The correct sod for this, since they get heavy filtered sunlight, they're talking 3 to 4 hours of heavy, intense filtered sunlight, not just sections of it. We're going with Royal Zoysia. The Royal Zoysia is going to be the most shade tolerant, followed by the Palisades. Again, make sure you always know what type of sunlight you're getting in before you lay your sod. Make sure during the fall time, you're very, very adamant about taking off the leaves. If you leave all the leaves on in the fall time, again, it's usually a lot wetter here, you're going to set up for some improper habits that are definitely going to weaken your sod and or kill it. So the correct way to actually lay sod is, first and foremost, you'll want to start at a corner of the section of the yard. Preferably, I would do it from the opposite area that you're bringing it in so you're not trampling on all the work you've done. Again, that can tear up the root system since they're delicate and they're not, fully rooted right now at the moment. Never start in the center of the yard. You'll actually want to make sure that the two pieces are very close together and snug. Again, like you're doing a puzzle. You don't want to leave any space in between. That can encourage, if you didn't grade the area or really turn it up well and get rid of the existing sod, weeds or other type of grass that was already existing there could pop up through. You want to make sure that they are closely knit together, and you actually want to interlayer, so sort of like, actually stepping stones or bricks. You want to make sure that if you start here and your crease is here, again, to follow the same line, but then when you come for the next row, if your crease is in the center, you actually want to lay on top. That way, again, it doesn't move when walking on. If you are on a serious slope where it gets into almost like 90-degree angle, they do offer actually sod staples to keep it in place. Otherwise, if it's just a soft little slope, this should prevent it washing away. Once you lay down the sod, it's always important to tamp it down, water it in. If you know someone that has a roller or a tamper, that also comes in handy too. Can get a little tired just using your foot. Other than that, make sure, again, you follow the procedures of keeping everything nice and snug. Start from an end opposite of where you'll be bringing it in. Never start in the center. This just makes sure you don't have to waste as much sod as possible because, let's face it, when you're laying your sod, more than likely there's going to be some curves in the yard and you're not going to just have straight pieces. You are going to have to cut it off. That being said, it's always helpful to have a sharp knife on hand or a sharpshooter. I would use the knife more so if you have irrigation outlets that you need to poke some holes through, where that way it can pop up through. Otherwise, just a simple sharpshooter for cutting off some odds and end pieces.